Hey there, guys. This is your man Sean back again with the third episode of Ask AssetIntel, the monthly webcast series where we bring in one of our team members who gives you insights about AssetIntel, our innovation, our commitment to compliance and regulations, our products, our offerings, and how we elevate our clients to a whole new level of operational excellence. This month, we've got our Chief Compliance Officer Khurram Malik with us, and he's gonna go ahead and give us more insights about how AssetIntel maintains and manages compliance and regulations in the so stringent asset infrastructure industry. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk to Khurram. All right, guys, so we are back with Khurram, our Chief Compliance Officer. Hey, Khurram, how's it going?
It's going well, Sean. Thank you for having me today.
Awesome, awesome. So we have Khurram answering a few questions for us, which are generally related to compliance and how AssetIntel manages compliance and like navigates its way in the asset infrastructure sector. So let's just jump into the questions real quick that we have for Khurram. All right, Khurram, the first question that we have for you. Well, Khurram, we know that you had a very fascinating career journey. So could you share with us how you got started and what basically inspired you to end up at AssetIntel as a Chief Compliance Officer?
Yeah, so Sean, thank you for having me today. So before joining AssetIntel, I had the opportunity to work at a leading US technology firm where innovation, information security, and compliance seamlessly coexisted. And this experience helped me solidify my belief that ethical behavior and business success go hand in hand. I had the opportunity to work on a project that involved navigating some complex regulatory requirements, where I realized that compliance isn't just about rules. It's about building trust, protecting stakeholders, and enabling innovation. So this was particularly, the project was to get a cloud service certified with FedRAMP, which is a very extensive regulatory certification process. And during the course of that project, I developed a keen understanding of how compliance intersects with technology. Basically, they go hand in hand. We live in a world where industries are being transformed digitally, right? So there's a digital renaissance that's happening, and but at the same time, that also poses great risks and challenges for industries that are not used to technology. And when they move into the technology space, then that just poor planning or implementation of digital transformation can lead to some grave security risks. So for tech startups like AssetIntel, the rapid pace of innovation demands a strong yet adaptable compliance framework. And it's not just about the process of how we do the process. I mean, it should not be compliance should not be an afterthought, right? So it should be instilled within the DNA of the organization. So it should be part and parcel of everything that happens within their organization. Compliance basically connects all the different departments into delivering quality products. So my journey with AssetIntel or with compliance started before joining AssetIntel, but I'm bringing that knowledge and skill set here, so we can build products that are secure, that are compliant, and meet the requirements or the expectations that our customers have for us, because our customers are in a highly regulated industry, and we owe it to them to ensure that we are building we're building secure solutions for them, and that establishes trust, but also that doesn't impede our progress in terms of innovation. So innovation and security and compliance go hand in hand to establish trust and to enable innovation.
Awesome. That was actually great. Khurram. Well, we generally look at compliance as a set of rules that needs to be followed, but I think that's way more than that. Compliance should be way more than that, as you just described. And obviously, compliance is built into AssetIntel's core. So, how would you describe AssetIntel's unique approach to compliance, and especially in the much restricted asset infrastructure industry?
Sure. So Sean, compliance, in my opinion, compliance is not just a bureaucratic necessity. It's not just a checklist, but it's a critical, vital component of risk management and organizational resilience. So for tech companies, particularly those serving highly regulated sectors like healthcare, government, infrastructure, having a proactive compliance program is essential to safeguarding operations, maintaining trust with our customers, and protecting against the far-reaching and far damaging consequences of cyber threats and cyber risks. So the cyber threat landscape is evolving and growing into something that I don't think anybody can plan for, but having a proactive approach actually helps with that. So I believe that compliance is more than a checklist, as I said. It's a strategic enabler that drives innovation, builds trust, and ensures long-term success for not just for the cloud service or the product that we're offering, but basically establishes that trust with our customers. And one approach that we have taken and we continue to take, and I think is the right approach, is that we have to embed compliance into the product development and operations lifecycle. Right? It should not be an afterthought. It should be part of the best practices, right? And frameworks like FedRAMP, SOC 2, if once you go through these certifications, it becomes evident that what these certifications are trying to do is to build that, is to basically prepare you with all of the best practices, all of the processes, standard operating procedures, and guidelines to help you achieve that level of competence and establish that level of trust that your customers expect from you. So in the industry that we're in, which is the government, state government, infrastructure, we're managing data for critical public infrastructure, critical public systems. So compliance safeguards, trust, compliance safeguards trust and operational integrity in this environment. So AssetIntel achieves this through collaboration across teams, combining technical expertise and regulatory knowledge and innovative solutions all together. Like we bring all of these aspects together, and then create products that our customers can rely on, right? Because just like consumer electronics, right? I mean, when you go buy a cell phone, or you go buy a car, or you for traveling, you go sit in an airplane, you are expecting, level of quality and security from the products, because you're paying for those products. And so you have a level of expectation from those products that I'm getting quality of service, my data is being safeguarded, this device is not going to explode in my hand, right? This car is not going to lose its wheel while it's running. So all of these expectations apply to the industry that we're in or to the product that we're selling. Um, so uh, by leveraging data-driven tools, by implementing practices like continuous monitoring, um, and so Asset Intel basically is balancing strict regulatory adherence with agility, mitigating risks and identifying opportunities for innovation. And this forward-thinking approach positions us as a leader in secure, scalable infrastructure asset management solutions that our customers not only rely on but also enjoy doing. At the end of the day, Sean, I mean, we have to deliver products that are solving the customer problems. So it needs to be usable, but at the same time, we cannot ignore all of these other aspects that basically require us to be diligent and and produce the best possible solutions for our customers.
Understood. That's great, Khurram. Actually, it was an amazing explanation. Well, another thing that pops up in my head, like AssetIntel basically needs to be ahead in the game, right? For example, a tech-driven company like AssetIntel, innovation is always the key. So, how would you say that you balance the drive for new solutions along with navigating yourself through the strict requirements of compliance?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sean, and it is a challenge, right? To balance innovation with responsibility, or to balance innovation with all the bureaucratic rules that come with compliance. But we have to understand, right? So startups face unique regulatory hurdles, especially in highly regulated industries. But personally, I view compliance as a catalyst for competitive advantage rather than a constraint. So my goal as a chief compliance officer is to basically craft proactive strategies that safeguard the company, while we foster integrity and innovation. So a few years ago, this is in the public domain, right? So a company, there was a SolarWinds hack, right? So one thing that became evident coming out of that hack was that the cyber threat landscape has evolved into the cyber threat actors now looking for backdoors, supply chain, to attack their main targets. So, in vendors like AssetIntel, who are providing cloud services to the public sector or to highly sensitive data, because we do asset management, like we provide
Yes.
technology solutions to do asset management.
Yep.
So we are basically, if we let our guard down, then we may become a source of attack for one of our clients, and that is not acceptable, right? So all of the checks and balances that we implement, and keep in, one thing I want to mention is like FedRAMP is like the gold standard in compliance certification. So AssetIntel is in the process of getting FedRAMP certified, and we have to go through extreme scrutiny, in terms of our processes, our procedures, our backup plans of how we handle data, where we store data. All of this is going through a lot of scrutiny as part of this FedRAMP certification. So we are proving that we take this thing seriously. Like we're not going to let our guards down, and we want to make sure that our products are not just serving the core needs of the customers, but we're establishing that level of trust and instilling that level of confidence in our customers that they can rely on us. right?
Right.
For safeguarding them, their assets, while giving them a highly advanced and highly innovative technology solution that is using the latest and greatest technology to give them to solve their needs and to solve their problems.
Gotcha. That was great. That was great. Actually, was very insightful. Well, looking forward to the future, how do you see compliance evolving in the infrastructure tech sector specifically? And how would you say that Asset Intel would be prepared for, kind of to stay ahead in the game?
Yeah, so compliance in the infrastructure tech sector, just like other industries, is going through digital transformation, right? I mean, there's new regulations or regulatory requirements that are, that are coming up every year. As you're aware, they're transitioning from the NBI to SNBI standards, mandated by the by FHWA, Federal
Yeah.
Highway Authority,
Mhm.
um, and there are other. Our customers are always will always be playing catch up to regulatory compliance. So, in for companies like Asset Intel who are providing solutions in this space, we have to
Yes.
stay ahead of the game, right?
Agreed.
I see, I see, three key trends that are not just specific to our the infrastructure industry, but other industries as well. So
Mhm.
whether it's fintech, whether it's healthcare, there's going to be increasing regulatory complexity, greater reliance on real-time data, right? Actionable data, real-time actionable data, which is accurate, right? And the integration of compliance with cybersecurity
Mhm.
and with analytical insights, right? So uh, basically, we any technology company like Asset Intel needs to stay ahead of these changes. So we have to be leveraging automation. We have to employ the latest technology, whether it's AI, as you saw in the user group meeting, right?
Yep.
So we're actively trying to find innovative and creative solutions, because data in by itself is nothing, means nothing, like it's just bits and bytes, right?
Yep.
Unless you
It's
can provide
organized.
insights into that data,
Yep.
it doesn't serve you, right?
Mhm.
And the more data is going to be there, the more complex, the complexity to maintain and store that data is going to increase. So uh, we have to combine. Asset Intel has to basically, combine the innovation with the emerging cybersecurity threat landscape, and providing real time data insights. That's where I feel like we're headed. Um, and we have to basically continue to integrate security and compliance into our product lifecycle, ensuring that our solutions not only meet the current requirements, like as they stand today, but also we are agile enough to adapt to future challenges. You know, um, and the example that I gave earlier, the NBI to SNBI,
Mhm.
it took several months. I think it took like 30 months for that standard to be um, you know to be to be solidified. But Asset Intel already was ahead of the game in coming up with a solution that our customers needed to get compliant.
Yes.
And that's
SneakX.
a and that's a that that's a competitive advantage that we have. So
Yep.
we need to continue to do more of this.
Gotcha. Makes sense. That definitely sounds promising, and I agree. So, we did have SneebyX, which helped agencies a lot in the transformation, and
Yeah.
we are, I guess, we were the only one in the market doing that
Yeah,
until very recently. So
yeah.
definitely way ahead in the game. So agreed to that, and
And
kudos to you guys for taking care of that.
no, 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 absolutely. And I know you handle the marketing side of things, so you are you're fully aware of this.
Yep. All right. So the last question that we have for you, and this is a question that we generally, go with all of our, team members with. So, Khurram, I mean, we know your expertise in compliance, but how would you describe your experience at Asset Intel as a whole? Or let me rephrase that question. Um, how would you describe the company culture and how does it align with your personal values?
Yeah, it's first I'm deeply blessed. I'm blessed, and it's a privilege to be part of Asset Intel. You know, I feel like you know Asset Intel is fostering a culture of that feels like family, right? Grounded in. I know it
So
sounds a
true.
bit cliche, but I mean it.
And it is
That
the truth.
yeah, and you experience it too, right?
Yeah.
This culture is grounded in core values like integrity, accountability, respect, right? Which
Mhm.
resonates with very strongly with my own values. And um, the interesting thing is that while all of our team is virtual, right? Work, but the executive leadership excels at keeping everyone connected and engaged through collaboration tools, to creative virtual events. They take an interest in these things, right? I mean, they prioritize these things. Like Human, our CEO, like
Mhm.
he he goes out of his way to actually meet with interns and new hires. Like he sets up time to ensure
Yep.
that they feel like they're connected to this
Yes.
family, like they're part of the family, right?
Agreed.
And it's difficult to do that, right? I mean, virtual teams are notorious for being disengaged after time, right? So and then the company's commitment um, to people is evident, that they prioritize training and professional development. So
Yep.
ensuring every team member has the opportunities to learn, grow, and thrive, both personally and professionally. So um, I've personally grown, during my tenure here, and it's a great culture, man. I mean, I only have good things to say about it. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be here.
Right. That's so true, Khurram. I have myself described it in the previous episodes as well, and I completely stand by what you just mentioned. Definitely true, and it's true. Human goes
Mhm.
way out
Yeah,
of his schedule or bandwidth, etc., to make sure that everyone is connected, no matter like it doesn't feel like a virtual team
yeah,
altogether, isn't it? That's the
yeah.
thing. So definitely agree with that. It's a very great culture, and I always say this. I've said this in the previous episode as well. People looking at it from the outside, you guys would be amazed to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So, yep, awesome. Well, that was all from our end. We had a few questions. Khurram had answered them, and thanks to Khurram for taking some time out for the episode. Thank you so much, man.
I really
And
appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity, and it was my pleasure to be here.
yep, and maybe we can get Khurram again back later with some more questions that we may have.
Yeah.
Until then, let us end the session here, and we will catch you guys later in the next installment. Well, guys, that was it for this episode of Ask Asset Intel. Thanks to Khurram, we got to know a lot about how Asset Intel stays ahead in innovation, all the while navigating its way through the strict regulations of compliance in the asset infrastructure sector. And at the same time, remember, the deadline for SNBI transformation from NBI is nearing soon. We have SneebyX just for that. Check out the playlist right here so that you can easily transform from NBI to SNBI.